My toilet was rocking a little bit, so I decided to tighten the bolt, and when I did, it broke off. So I'm going to go over the steps on how to replace toilet bolts, and I'm also going to change the toilet gasket to a Fluid Master no wax toilet gasket. First thing you want to do is turn off the valve, the water going to the tank, and once the valve is off, if you have a flap style flush valve, just hold the handle down to empty the water out of the tank. If you have a canister style, you may have to pull up and hold it up. And now I'm going to remove the cover from the tank. Plunge as much water out of the bowl as you can before you move it. Now you're going to remove the supply line. You can put a small container underneath the supply line to catch any water. There should be very little that drips out of the supply line. And you're going to disconnect the supply line at the fill valve on the tank. Now I'm going to remove the other nut, and adjustable wrench works really well. And this one broke off too. So now we'll remove the toilet and we'll replace the two corroded bolts. Now you can move the toilet. I would set it on an old towel, a garbage bag. I'm using a piece of cardboard. Now you can remove the old gasket and the bolts. If you have a wax seal, you can scrape it all up with an inexpensive scraper. Now I'm going to install the new bolts. I like to add an extra washer and a nut and lock this onto the toilet flange. That way it'll stay in place while I'm putting the toilet on, and in the future, if I ever need to remove the nuts that are holding the toilet down, that bolt won't spin. Before I tighten down my nuts, I'm going to measure from the baseboard and have both of the bolts set back 12 inches. The Fluid Master toilet gasket has two pieces. If the toilet flange is above the flooring, which this is, you just use the one top blue rubber gasket. If it's even width or up to 1/4 of an inch below the flooring, then you would use both parts. Now you can set your toilet on top of the gasket. Put on your washers and nuts and snug them up. Alternate tightening from side to side. And don't over tighten it, you can crack the bowl. Connect your supply line to the fill valve and then turn on the water. Replacing the toilet bolts and the gasket is a pretty easy do-it-yourself project.